What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Cuts here back with another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is our podcast now for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Game day now for Michigan State basketball, heading into an interesting game against the UCLA Bruins. Again, MSU now ranked 15th in the country. AP poll came out on Monday, dropped them 5 spots for that blowout loss to Wisconsin on the road. Wisconsin moved up to 24 if it's any consolation. So it's a ranked loss at the very least, if you're looking at it that way. But lost 3 of 4, haven't really looked good. I mean, you got that Illinois win, it's a top 10 win. They're number 10 in the country. Still looks really good on the resume. But still, since that time, they really just blew Maryland out of the water. Haven't looked amazing. Should have lost to Rutgers. You lost why am I blanking now on the first Michigan? You lost to Michigan, fair and square. You lost to Minnesota, more than fair and square. That game was not as close as the final score indicated. You again, Illinois could have very well have won that game. I thought Michigan State deserved to win it. In the end, looking at the final statistics and all of that, but again, Illinois very well could have won that game. There was points where it looked like they were going to win that game, needed a comeback. But obviously MSU won, and then of course you go to Wisconsin, and you get shot out of the gym. Wisconsin hit 15 threes. Simple as that. If you let a team like that who loves to shoot the three ball get that many good looks, I mean they hit some crazy shots too, but they hit their shots. MSU didn't. That's how it goes. Um, and now all of a sudden you're looking at this team and you're wondering, you thought maybe they'd get a 2 seed in March, 3 seed. If you piece together some wins, you're getting a really favorable draw in the tournament. And now you're probably looking at a 4 seed, I think, if it ended right here. Again, you're ranked 15th in the country in the AP poll, so that slots into the 4 seed category. You definitely don't want to drop down below the top 4 seed. Then you're a 5 seed, and you're not the best team in your region anymore. So again, and you're playing better teams in the first round. Again, the 5-12 upset is a classic in everyone's bracket, pretty much. So again, you got to try. Again, I really think you got to try being the gap in importance between being a three, and as far as if you want to make it to like the Final Four and stuff, the gap between being a 3 seed and a 4 seed is bigger than the difference between being a 4 and a 5 seed to me. 4 and a 5 seed are pretty much interchangeable, I think, in terms of the importance of the bracket, because again, you're kind of in the phase where you're kind of guessing. I think to some levels you're splitting some hairs and resumes and stuff like that. I think once you get to the top tiers, it's pretty easier to differentiate between those teams. That's just me personally. Um, but again, I think the main difference here is when you're a 3 seed, you avoid playing the 1 seed in your region until the Elite Eight. So there's a chance they have to play 3 games. If you get to that Elite Eight, they have to win 3 games to go get you. Basically, two, you get the 16 seed, but you never know. I mean, it's happened. Well, there's a higher chance that you don't see them. If you're a 4 seed, you have to play them in the Sweet 16. Almost certainly that's going to happen because again, 16 seed and then 8 or 9 seed. There's usually one. I think like a lot of years, usually there's one seed that goes down the first weekend. Usually in that second round game, of course. But you can't bank on that. You can bank on a little bit more. You can maybe handle the 2 seed in the Sweet 16. Again, there's usually a 2 seed or two that goes down in the first weekend. It's a lot more likely to happen than the 1 seed. So yeah, again, 3 seed, 4 seed, big difference in terms of if you want to make the Elite Eight, if you want to, play for a Final Four, stuff like that to me. But looking at this game, UCLA also coming off a blowout loss. Lost by 30 to Michigan, now the number one team in the country, deservedly so. You don't have to like it, but I mean they're really good if you watch them. It's been kind of clear that they've probably been the most talented team in the country for the whole season, basically, ever since that Players Era thing, where they just annihilated 3 teams in 3 days, including Gonzaga. That was the big one. But UCLA was within 2 at halftime of that game. So that game was kind of more lopsided than what the final score shows you. 30-point loss. Still not good. Got destroyed in that second half. But still, playing Michigan that close at halftime is, something, I guess. it's a moral victory. Obviously, again, you still lost. There's the extra, yeah, it's a 40-minute game. To beat Michigan, you got to play 40 minutes. But still, showed something there. At the very least, again, UCLA probably going to make the tournament. They're in all the brackets, I believe, right now when I look at the bracket matrix, but they're like a 10 or an 11 seed. Maybe you see them at a 9 in a few people's projections, but they need some more wins. They're not a lock at all for the tournament. Again, MSU could lose out the rest of the way and they'd get in. They're at 20 wins, they're at 10 wins in the Big Ten. Big Ten's really, really, really strong, especially at the top this year. They have those primo wins. They'd get in. That's not the same case for UCLA. You beat MSU on the road, though, you're fine and dandy, pretty much. They'd reach 10 wins as well. Yeah, that's kind of the interesting part. There's only one game separating MSU and UCLA in the Big Ten standings. Excuse me, still battling a little bit of illness right now. Again, so I guess you're not really looking at a Big Ten title for this team this year. 3 games back, 6 games left. Not going to happen, especially if you have to play at Purdue, at Michigan. You also, again, even before you play Michigan, you need two teams to beat them in conference play. I don't know if that's going to happen. Michigan might go 18-2, 19-1 for all we know during conference play. Again, Wisconsin's the only team that's beaten them all season. But as far as Big Ten tournament scenarios go, you can still get that double bye if you keep winning. Top four teams in the Big Ten standings of it get to go straight to the quarterfinals. Again, that's a pretty nice. That's a triple bye now, actually, because all 18 teams make it this year. In the men's side, I think women only top 15 teams in the conference make it. But again, get that top 4 seed, you go straight to the quarterfinals. It's an easier path to a Big Ten tournament title, which is they hang banners for that. It's a championship, so that's something to play for down the line. Try to get that top 4 seed, and again, you got to position yourselves better for March. Jeremy Fears can't keep doing as much as he's doing. I've written about this. I've talked about this on here. They're asking too much out of him. He's averaged 22 and 11 his last 5 games, but it's out of necessity. They need him to have these crazy efforts for them to win these games, and that's not going to hold up for 3 straight games in the Big Ten tournament. It's not going to hold up for more than a couple games in March. It's just not. He's human. He's not going to be able to drop 25 and 13 every single night. He just can't. So need guys in the backcourt: Jordan Scott, Curtain, Trey Fort, especially now with Ukachukwu out for the year. Someone's got to step up there. Need more involvement from the bigs. Jackson Kohler, Jarson Cooper haven't been great offensively for a little more than a month now. It's all around. Everyone's got to elevate their play around Jeremy Fears because that was when they played their best. That's simply how it was. When Kohler was more of a threat, when you saw better 2-guard play, when Cooper was more of a scorer, when Carr's aggressive offensively. It's a better team when Jeremy Fears doesn't have to do so much every single game, because that's how it's been the last 5 games or so. So yeah. Again, Xavier Booker's coming back as well. That's another little headline from this game. I also wrote about this. Izzo talked about it too on a press conference on Monday. I really do hope for everyone's sake that he gets a warmer welcome because Izzo said it was an amicable separation, if you will. It was pretty clear he needed a change of scenery with how things were going through 2 seasons here. If he stayed, he would have been a junior coming off the bench, and that's not that the timelines weren't aligned in that way. And again, when it came to March last year, he was cut out of the rotation entirely. You didn't see any meaningful minutes in any of MSU's 4 NCAA tournament games. So I mean, that showed you where he stood in the eyes of Izzo as far as his abilities on the court at that point. So went to UCLA. He's starting for the Bruins now. He's started all but 2 games from this year, and his numbers are up. So it seems everyone has, for the most part, benefited. So I don't think this is a situation where it's necessarily like this guy's a snake. He backstabbed us. He's an enemy now. Yeah, for one day he is, but I don't think you need to add any extra juice like this was some backstabbing moment. It wasn't. It just wasn't. It was kind of the transfer portal as it would be. It was truly beneficial for him to go somewhere else. He wasn't just transferring for extra NIL dollars. even if that's the case, I don't blame a guy for doing that, but you get what I mean. He's doing it because it was genuinely a better path for his career, and MSU fans should wish him the best on that, except in this game, of course. So yeah, I really do hope people kind of maybe give him a small cheer when he's introduced as a starter. Maybe you don't have to cheer, but just don't boo him, I guess, because from all accounts, he's a good person. He never got in any trouble here. Izzo said he was a good student and everything. So no ill will towards him at all, hopefully from Spartan Nation. Yeah, but that kind of sums up my thoughts on kind of what's at stake in this game, the path forward for Michigan State. I do have Michigan State winning this one. I don't think they're going to lose this home game. I just it's a quad two game. I just think you see MSU find a way. They probably won't play their best, but I think their defense will give them enough this time around. In a relatively close game, I had 74-68. We'll see if that ages better than my Wisconsin take. I had MSU winning that one by a pretty similar margin. But alas, that's in the past. Can't win them all, I guess. So yeah, I'll write plenty on this. Whatever else is going on at Michigan State Athletics, you can find that at SpartanNation.com and at Michigan State Spartans on SI. Thank you though for listening or watching, whether you're on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music. Thank you very much. Once again, though, I'm Jacob Kotznika. I'll see you guys around.